Hi, my name is Poeartistry. I am excited to welcome you to James Poeartistry Productions. You are tuning into an incredible experience known as Poeartistry Gold, where we delve into the art of commentary, storytelling and poetry. We aim to bring you inspiring and thought-provoking content.
This is a Poeartistry Gold moment by the author James Lynch. Hello, perceptive readers. Welcome to Poeartistry Gold number 143. There are experiences that I realized some persons never had the chance to actually, enjoy when they were growing up. And so even as adults, they may do it now, but it is not of the same type of, let me use the term, learning atmosphere. So what do I mean by that? There are people who have talked to one another over the years, and sometimes they're fascinated by the way that this individual actually thinks or feel about matters, and they don't even see why the person think or feel about the matters. And so after further inquiry, they come to find out it was the way they were taught or experiencing life as they were growing up. See, and that actually does make a whole world of difference. And so you can have one person growing up in a environment or atmosphere where everything is basically said, nothing is really possible for this group or culture or this view on life. And you can actually be raised in another culture, that ends up saying the opposite, that you can do, what you want to do. And remember, I'm always talking in general and principle wise. You can do what you want to accomplish. And that's what I want to emphasize. Today, some of the challenges that people are continuing to face is they feel those challenges are so great that it actually puts them at a standstill. And that actually does happen. What I want to continue to share with you, though, is that while you're at a standstill in this way or that way, you do what you can. You pray, you read, you actually do what you can do with the amount of power that you have within you. And I continue, at this time to mention, if you want to go more into depth of what I'm talking about in this way or that way, especially with this being on Sunday, if you listen to Poeartistry Gold number 141, you see 142. Now this is Poeartistry Gold number 143. You will see basically, I guess, during this time in the hundreds, my theme is there's God, there's you, and there's also a universe of factors and facets within your heart and mind that God over time is molding to use his own expressions like clay. And it's just amazing the different situations through life that the Holy Bible actually gives. You can see all sorts of situations that people who actually loved him, and we know that God loved them, actually went through. And they were situations where sometimes they were, in stagnation, so to speak, couldn't move, couldn't do what they wanted to do. And that went on for some time. Don't make me have to bring up Job again. And through all those different situations, we learn things. And one of the things that I want to emphasize to you who are listening to me And the reason why I tell you to contact me, no matter what anybody else says, because I'm here to tell you right now today. See, the same way that people show their confidence in what they believe and this and that. See, I don't have to tell you not to talk to somebody for years on end. I don't have to go about trying to censor anybody. But that has been my experience for decades now. Okay? So, with that being said, people will try to justify you just even living life. Okay? And I told you they'll make up all sorts of reasons why, and I'm here to tell you again today. It is not based on God and his ransom sacrifice of Jesus. It's still literally based on human research, reasoning, spiritism, and divination as to why you see humans don't know how to, at times, solve problems the correct way. You see, it's more of a business predatory nature where the thinking is, and they do this, and you see in frets a lot, where if they find a person who is who's been vanilla all their life, who has been even righteous all their life, it's almost like they don't want to give them anything unless they can find something on them that they can blackmail them on, or in this way or that way. So what am I telling you? There are just too many basically corrupt practices for anybody to allow ones who actually use abusive terms or abusive disciplines on persons to be the one that's supposed to be their physician when the physician put them in that situation in the first place, whether it's physical or spiritual or even academia and justice system as well. See, everything I just mentioned, you know I respect. And yet I still thank the God Almighty as to when these different situations in the Bible certainly was applying to my situation, applying to whatever I was dealing with in life, to know that even though this person was walking around claiming to be this and claiming to be that, no, they were certainly going to make my situation even worse if they could, because their heart wasn't in the right place, their spirit wasn't in the right place, and there certainly was other situations going on, even personality wise, that was totally, you see, or some people may call on the bigotry side. And then they want you to sit up there and let that person continue to abuse you as if that's the right thing. And it's not. So what I'm continuing to tell you is, I know there are extenuating circumstances that people go through and mitigating circumstances go through. But in this world of conditioning so much, they have, I'm going to say, dumbed down people in another way, not to even be able to recognize that, look, this is truly abusive. This is truly, it cannot be tolerated. This is truly, that person need to get themselves together. And you already know that if this person wasn't who they were, what family they had, background, or money, or what have you, they would not allow somebody of a different class to do and go through, you see, or allow to beat up on somebody like that. I'm here to tell you today, that's what I tell you. I said, that's what I tell you. To write me at buymeacoffee.com/James Poeartistry. Because every single situation, and I'm saying even just bad situations or what have you, that people sometimes even make more complicated than what it needs to be, it can still be addressed, I would say, in a just way and in the spiritual way. You see, Not some other way that I told you go along towards these different types of philosophies and thinking that I told you people can do what they want to do in their groups. But make no mistake about it, on the world scene, some of these practices that these people do, it wouldn't do a thing to help move civilization forward. It'll just still keep them in a state where they'll just be fighting, warring, and can't even make a better situation, even spiritually, for themselves. You see? So, what I'm continuing to encourage you, as I said again, if you don't believe me, okay, you don't believe me. But I certainly don't believe in censorship. You know that. Censorship, I mean, actually going out your way to attack another person's business, another person's finances, and then put them in such a way of a web of even good people. So really, it's in their scheme making good people fight against good people, and none of them really know the difference. Well, again, somebody probably does, but that's the whole point. The way that they tear down another individual and lie by saying it's some type of correction in this way or that way. See, I'm even using the term the correct way when I talk about people lying. See, they've even tried to weaponize that word lie and lies and correction stuff like that. And the things that they apply to, it's like, look, it doesn't even matter. You see, if you're talking about books, if you're talking about fictional characters, if you're talking about all that or what have you, come on, it's a genre, it's something. But see, that's the thing that they try to make it seem like it's hard to understand. Why? I've said this before. Some of these people, every day with their agenda, they lie and propagandize stuff so much that, see, they can't even handle when you really got an honest or truthful woman or man that can, expound and express their imagination in that way, which God gave us an imagination. So they don't want that person being able to express themselves in that way, you see, because really they are the ones who are in harmony with the father of the lies. And I continue to tell you today, us as authors, fictional writers, science fiction writers, stuff like that, I think you will find overall. You want to talk about a serious subject? I'm telling you. And really get to the nitty gritty of talking serious about this or that. You'll probably find out they're 99.9% accurate and 100% being truthful if they just didn't know what they were talking about. You see? So the point is, no one is trying to pull your leg in this way or that way. And that's what I think you'll find out about by a lot of persons, at least according to certain backgrounds, as I started talking about beginning, like backgrounds of what I was able to experience as a young person of just what? Being able to walk down the street, you see, uh, even talking with a person in a position of trust or a parent about some matters. I still call them sages or what have you. So, thank you for being here. I hope you will take the time to make a comment somewhere on my buymeacoffee.com, / James Poeartistry. I hope you will. And if you don't, you see, all the same, I continue to say, we do the best we can. And what we can't do, what man can't do, what a woman can't do, or what have you, God still can and eventually will. Take care of yourself, perceptive reader.